I'm not even gonna waste time. I'm just gonna get straight into it, and then as people come, I'll update the content. Um, I'm gonna start off by sharing a quick story. This happened yesterday. Every now and then, I like to test manifestation and some of the techniques that I've grown to know, love, use, and trust. I don't need them, but I just like to do it every now and then just to validate the practice because what I'm trying to do is be a scientist of my own life and try to create tools and things that I can use for myself and others in a practical way. What's up, everybody, if you're here? Uh, so, what I did was uh, I literally said, I said, I want to test what I've been using. So, I tapped into that portion of our being that everybody has. Now, mind you, listen, I am not telling you guys anything that has not already been discovered. I'm not I'm not teaching or sharing anything that y'all don't already readily probably know. But what I am doing is expressing it in my own special way in hopes that maybe it connects to you in a way that it may not have previously. And slowly putting the pieces together so that I can present it in a way that's practical to where you can use it. So hold on, I got somebody that's probably gonna come over here, but hopefully she don't even notice that I'm in the car right now. Nope, she noticed. She didn't come over here, so we good. Anyway, so what I said is purple is my favorite color, but it's one of those colors that I don't see a lot. Um, and as a kid, I was I was kind of bullied out of liking that color. I was basically told that purple was a gay color. It wasn't until I got older that uh, I realized that couldn't have been further from the truth. Purple's the color of royalty, uh, regal. It's a beautiful hue. It's the marriage of red and blue, which signify the marriage of the right and left hemispheres. I mean, I can go on and on and on, which signifies the perfection of man or woman, the unity of masculine and feminine energy, which, I used to hear this stuff and I used to be like, man, folks are corny. Like, y'all just spitting stuff out. But this is ancient wisdom, right? This is what they believed in. If you look around, you understand that all of nature cosigns all of this. So anyway, purple's my favorite color. So I said, you know what? I want to manifest something purple, just something. In my mind, I'm thinking of stuff, and I couldn't really nail something down in that moment. Right as I got done with that thought, like I wasn't even fully done with the thought because I didn't come up with something that I wanted. I wanted it to be specific so that it stood out to me in a way that meant something to me. Right as I finished this sentence, there was a man on probably a 40 or maybe like a 25 or 30-foot ladder wearing a purple shirt working on his home right where we were stopping at. So I'm going to tell you why this is significant. If any of you have ever followed Neville Goddard, he has something called the ladder experiment, where you go through a series of meditations and you go through a series of um, visualizations to where you will end up being on a ladder. And a lot of people talk about at least seeing ladders, even if they didn't, end up on a ladder. So when I saw this, I was like, yo, that's half of it, right? So then I said, let's get more specific. Excuse me. I said, I want to see a purple piece of paper. And I said, let's do this within the next 24 hours. This morning I parked in a random park in the parking lot. I'm in a random part of the parking lot I don't ever really park in. Like, y'all let me know if you can hear me. I don't normally even park in this part of the parking lot. And I parked over here because I wanted to see the sunrise. But when the sun cleared a certain point, I could see what was in front of me, and in front of me was a gate or a fence. And there's a paper purple sign sitting right there in front of the fence. It's an advertisement, right? So you tell me if that's coincidence or if that's by design. At this point, audio is clear. Good deal. At this point, I'm so I'm so deep in it. I'm so convinced of this that like I've actually started sharing some of these techniques with people. And really I kind of want to start it out with people that already have experience meditating because this anybody can do it, but if you can't calm your mind, then it ain't gonna be beneficial to you. By the way, we don't have cold sores. This is from me biting my lip earlier. So, long story short, there's the story. But what you probably clicked on this for was to get the manifestation cheat codes. Let me get a like or a comment if you want to hear what the manifestation cheat codes are. No, this ain't no special saucy twist. This is not me selling you a bill of goods. Y'all keep in mind, I'm not asking for a penny, right? I do these lives completely free. I'm not by design. I've been meditating for 7 years. Oh, so you super ready. You probably already doing it. So I just want to lay some groundwork for y'all. I'm not selling these techniques to you. This is completely free. If you're in this live, you are you're part of a small group of people that are getting insights into what I'm doing on a consistent basis daily, manifesting on a small level, building up to manifesting on an even bigger level. Because the bigger the manifestation, the bigger the energy, and the stronger the belief it's required. So that's why, good morning, natural butterfly, always in the building. So listen, if you're here, you're a part of an exclusive group. I'm doing this for free. I'm not asking you for any money. There may come a time where I'll put something together where I've time tested this over and over and over again, and I share it because I'm in the business of changing lives. I'm not in the business of just, I don't want to just be on here talking. You know what I mean? Like I talk, I'm here for a purpose. Again, I want to reiterate, I'm sharing this information because this is the direction my life has gone. It has led me. This is stuff that I've learned myself, and I'm doing it at the cost of my own channel. I don't care. This is the truth. This is what it is. You know, I'm hemorrhaging subscribers because people don't want to hear this message, or maybe they already know this message they don't want to hear. That's fine. I'm here for who I'm here for. I just want to reiterate these things so that y'all know there's nothing behind it. There's no like, I don't come on here hoping that y'all will go to a course or anything. Like I said, there might come a time where that's the case, but right now, no. You're part of an exclusive group. I've done enough laying the groundwork. You're here, you want to know what this is about. So, one of the biggest hangups that I see and that I've experienced myself with manifestation, well, there's a couple, but one of the biggest ones is limiting beliefs and blockages. What do I mean by that? If you have any recessed portion of you that doubts that this is a possibility or doubts that you deserve or are worthy of having what it is you want in life for whatever reason, that could be your environment, that could be religious framework, that could be your upbringing, that could be what you see for the live. Uh, I'll since you ask, I'll keep it up for a little bit, but it will be deleted because it's kind of a special thing that I like to do for the people that are rocking with me that tune in. And I know it seems unfair because everybody can't get it on live. I get it, but I do this periodically so much that eventually you'll be able to catch something that'll help. Um, Blockages. You have to address the blockages in your life. And first, what we have to do is we have to identify what a blockage or a limiting belief is. So, what I've done and what I advise other people to do is think about what it is you want in life. First of all, if you can't even think beyond your current circumstances to want better, or get excited about thinking about wanting or having better in life, regardless of what's going on, you've got limiting beliefs. Of course, I appreciate you for asking. You have a limiting belief. And you have to understand that this God, the universe, whatever you want to call this entity, is bigger than your circumstances. That includes corona. That includes losing a job. That includes trauma. That includes abuse. Y'all got to understand this. This force, this power source that we're dealing with is bigger than what you're dealing with on this lower level. Once you reach that higher state, it's game over. It's game over. So if you can't think about what you want with an eager, anticipatory mindset, you have a limiting belief. If you start a new endeavor and you do not finish it and see it through to its end, or you start a new endeavor and you immediately cast doubt on it, or fear about it, or you worry about what could go wrong, you have a limiting belief, and it is a sign of low self-confidence. There's no other way around it. You have low self-esteem, period. You can argue with me about this. We can go tit for tat. But when you break it down to its rudimentary level, you have low self-esteem. This is not self-esteem in the sense that it applies to how you look or how you feel about how you look. This is about the embodiment of who you are as a person and your capabilities and the confidence that you have in yourself as being someone that can achieve, do, have bigger and better, or whatever the case is. You have a limiting belief. So step one, you have to address those limiting beliefs and nip them in the bud. How do we do this? We accomplish this through stilling the mind. We accomplish this through being quiet and taking time to set ourselves apart from being glued into this physical world. That means we turn off the TV, we turn off YouTube, we turn off all the distractions, and we go inward. Why do we go inward? Inward is the source of everything that we see and experience today. Even if you didn't believe that, imagine if you lost your hearing, your sight, and your taste. You lost all of these sensory inputs. Your experience on this earth, life as you know it, would essentially end. Nothing would exist for you. So we have to go inward to the source. I'm trying to explain this in a way where it's like fully graspable and I'm not just explaining it. I'll do a backflip later. I can do it now. Don't mess with me. I can do a backflip. Um, so beyond that, the other side of manifestation, I use meditation for my means of manifestation, and I also use journal writing. And the reason why I do this is because I want to etch these ideas in my brain in a tangible way. In every way possible, I want to immerse my sensory input in what it is that I want to create in my life. So the other side of another cheat code, after you address your self-limiting beliefs or any blockages that you might have, those are my brothers right there. Fire department. Anyway, um, the other side of it is, so once you get to a point where you calm your mind, right? You get your mind completely calm. And this is what I use to have what I would refer to as a rapid manifestation. We're talking 24 to 48 hours. Sometimes it may take a little bit longer. I'm glad this is connecting because this is stuff that I've written, I've shot videos teaching it, but I've not posted it yet because I want to perfect it and get it to a point where it's bulletproof. So this is what I do as far as my meditation goes. You can call it prayer, you call it whatever you want to call it. So I believe every one of us has what I refer to as a field called the 0 point, right? If you look at an X and Y axis, right? Here's your X and your Y axis. Right there in the middle is called the Z axis, right? And so what we're talking about is I used to see negative and that's something I definitely limited belief. What you're sharing is so powerful and will help people a lot. You explain it perfect, and I'm glad you got over that. I'm man. This meditation has changed my life in ways that I never thought possible, and I've been doing it. I actually meditated for the first time when I was like 8. Didn't know what I was doing. I saw a frog doing it on like a hippie shirt, and I thought this would be cool, so I started doing it. Didn't know what I was doing, but now that I'm older, I've been correctly, what I would say correctly doing it for the past like 3 years. Um, but anyway, so thank you for sharing that. So um, the reason why we have to still them. Oh, so I was talking about the 0 point, right? So there's something called the 0 point, and what the 0 point is a representation of pure potential. This is where I believe we can get the closest to God. This is where I believe God and His power or their power resides, and it's just an impartial, just a small piece of the eternal source that's placed inside of us. And it's when we can calm all of our senses and get to a point where everything and nothing exists all at the same time. So I've created within my mind, I've created this, and it's funny because I didn't really create it myself. It was presented to me. It's a totally black room. And it honestly reminds me a lot of, I didn't realize this until I started talking about it. It reminds me, no, when you were starting to meditate correctly. When I started to see tangible results as far as my intention going into meditation. So if my intention was to change my attitude about something I did not like that I knew I needed to do, I needed to have, or wanted to have, or needed to do, it could be something mundane like editing a video or doing the dishes or speaking to a client or trying to get more business, whatever it is. If I felt some type of way about it and I felt I had a limiting belief about it, when I could go into meditation, set the intention that, hey, I want to eliminate this, that's when I knew I was doing it correctly. Um, but when it first started out, it was just a matter of just being calm and relaxed after meditation. So uh, I'm going to get to the 0 point conversation. So there's this field. It reminds me a lot of the girl off of Stranger Things. It's crazy because I didn't realize this till I started explaining this. When she puts something in her ear, and I think she covers her eyes, and she goes into this water tank full of salt, which I've been in a float tank before, and she wakes up in this black abyss, right? That is the field I believe where prayers get answered. And I've created this field that I believe everybody has. I will calm myself by first focusing on my breathing. Y'all are getting the exclusive look into how I meditate and manifest tangibly. All right. So if you're here, consider yourself, I'm not even going to say lucky, consider yourself right where you need to be because there's a reason. I will first focus on my breath as much it is. I will focus on my breathing. I'll do deep diaphragmatic breathing. And what I've started doing is I'll take my hands and put them over my head as I'm laying back. Because what used to happen is when I lay on my back and meditate, I will fall asleep. So I'll lay on my back and put my hands over my head. Because it's slightly uncomfortable, but it's not uncomfortable to the point to where it's distracting. But it will keep me up, number one. Number two, it opens up the diaphragm just a little bit to be able to take more air inside, right? So I put my hands up over my head and I will focus on my breathing first. 100% deep diaphragmatic breathing. I breathe into my belly and out, into my belly and out. So any thoughts that would come into my mind space during that time, I would just let them happen. I would observe them and let them pass. That's all you do. You observe them and let them pass. It doesn't matter. It could be a horrendous thought. Let thoughts come without judgment, right? Which is about to lead me to two of the most pivotal points in rapid manifestation that you can implement and see tangible results. So I'll do this, and mind you, with this meditation in particular, I do it every day. I do not put a time limit on my meditation. My goal is to get to that field, that 0 point, no matter how long it takes, even if I got to stop and come back to it. And as I continue to do it, it gets easier and easier. So I will calm myself. Once I feel that I've calmed myself, and I know that I'm completely at that point when I reach two stages. A, my body will start to tingle. I will feel a certain way. Oh, yeah. My body will start to tingle. It will give me cues, sensory cues that let me know that, hey, you're relaxed. We're here. But also, the other thing is little sounds like the air turning on or my daughter running or whatever the sound is, will not knock me out of my meditative state. If anything, it makes it stronger. That's when I know that I'm there, right? And so when I get there, I'm at the perfect frequency. I'm at the perfect brainwave state to access the zero field. And typically, what will happen is my field of vision, while my eyes are closed, my field of vision will slowly go black, and a black stage or screen, I guess, will rise up and fill my field of vision. Mind you, I can't see anything, but this is how I can best explain it. Everything is completely black, but the feeling when I'm there is pure potential. Everything's completely black, but what I feel is that anything is possible in this realm. So now, here's probably one of the most important pieces, because once you're in this field, the belief and what I've learned and what I've experienced is exactly what you feel and imagine will come to pass. So if you are not skilled, if you are not in control of your thoughts, your mentality, if you have not really truly reached that state, do not try to access this place. If you still got some demons you're battling and some doubts, some weird thoughts, don't go here. But I will tell you this. There is a way to not have these effects happen. And I'm going to get into it because this sounds crazy to the uninitiated, right? So once I get to this point, what I'll then do, like for me, what I wanted to create is a state of 100% health. So, as you know, this channel, I'm talking about business, I'm talking about life mastery, relationships. So, I picture myself at the peak health possible. And what I do is, what emerges is the ultimate version of myself comes up from this black nothingness and presents himself. And I'm looking at myself with the body that I want, the presence that I want. I'm looking at myself knowing that I have the finances. I have my daughter is well kept after, my relationships with friends, family, wife, your significant other. Everybody is benefiting from being next to this version of me because I have worked to build it. So I will present this person in the 0 point, in this field. Here are the two most important things. Firstly, cast no judgment. You cannot put a judgment on this perfect image of yourself or whatever it is you want. If it's a house, if it's a car, whatever. Cast no judgment. And this is what the secret doesn't tell you. Don't cast judgment on it being good. Don't cast judgment on it being bad. Don't cast judgment on you wanting it really bad. Don't get, and I'm going to tell you why, because energetically, when you get into this field responds to how you feel, what you put out there. This is prayer. This is the cheat code. When you put out there energetically saying, I want this because it's so good, like I want this so bad. I want it, I want it, I want it. What you are communicating is that you do not have it. What you're communicating is that in this realm that you're in, where all things are possible, that potential doesn't exist. When you communicate that you don't want something to happen, you don't want it because it's bad, when you're saying, I do not want this to happen, I want this to change, you are communicating that the outcome that you want does not exist. You have to understand that in our mentality and our imagination, which is why children are they're so freaking beautiful. That's why the most hardened criminals can look at children and smile because they're reminded of being in this place. You cannot cast judgment. Nothing is good, nothing is bad in this place. All right? Your only job is to present the perfect image of what you want. Now, I'm going to teach this to you too, because this is something that again, somebody else might have come up with this because nothing's new under the sun, but this is what I have developed on my own. I have researched it, I have tried it, I have tested it, I've used it to help heal people, I have used it to manifest small things in my life. I've used it to change my mentality, my personality. I've used it myself, okay? So what I'm telling you, this is firsthand. I'm not y'all should know that I'm not the type of person that's going to co-sign something that I don't believe in. So, I have been in this place and been trying to heal someone and immediately thought of the worst case scenario of this person passing, right? So, there's danger in that. So, what I do when I don't want something to happen is I will actually cast judgment on it. And then I will immediately say cancel or delete, right? And when I do this, I'm acknowledging that that possibility does not exist. And I open my eyes. I will go back into it, start the process over until I come correct. All right. This is key. So I don't have this problem I don't have this problem really at all anymore. So once I'm in this 0 point and this void, this imaginational void, and I've gotten past that point and I've queued up this perfect image of what it is that I want, what it is that I desire, what it is that I deserve, I cast no judgment on it. It just is. It exists. Then here is the key, and this right here is what will determine how quickly you can collapse that time gap between what it is you want and that actual thing coming to fruition. And if you're here, do not leave because this might be one of the most important portions of it. You might be able to skip every other step and go straight to this if you can master doing this. Energetically, I will create that perfect image, but then I will turn it into a movie clip in my mind. I will turn it into a movie clip where I'm living life as this person or having this thing or experiencing this thing. And through doing that, what I do is I elevate my mood and my emotion to a state of blissful gratitude. Blissful gratitude because I'm acknowledging that the potentiality exists and it has already happened. And I will increase that over and over and over and higher and higher and higher. I've done it so high to the point to where I will physically get sick, right? So I will increase my energy. You call it vibration, whatever you want to. I'll do it. I will just, if happy about a raise is a 10, I'll try to get it to a 15 to 20. I will keep elevating my excitement, my appreciation, my thankfulness, my gratitude to a point to where it's absolutely impossible that this will not happen because it's already happened. I've already taught myself biologically that this has happened. And as soon as I reach that peak, I cut it off. Open my eyes, the meditation is done. Now, why do we do that? I send it off into the field to let God, universe, source do its work and present it to me in real life. Now, why do I do this? Because we want to cut the potentiality for any chance of judgment to ruin what we have created. Immediately cut the meditation off. It doesn't matter what I think about consciously. That's not who's running the ship. Subconsciously, that space, that's where the subconscious, I believe, resides. So I immediately would cut it off before my conscious would try to communicate with my subconscious, and vice versa. I cut it off. It's done. And then I'll live my life. Usually when I do this, I'll come out of it. And the beauty of doing this is when you come out of your meditation quickly like this, you have very little time for a sensory input of your current environment to ruin the feeling that you have. If you cut it off right there at your peak state, once you come to in your waking life, you're still in that state. So it's already done. I did it twice yesterday and I'm still feeling the effects today. This is how it happens for me every time. Um, so, with that being said, we allow ourselves the stream to go. Thank you so much. Oh, I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. So, a lot of meditations I've found, even guided meditations, they will try to slowly bring you out of it. What works for me and what I've done, that slow stuff, no, because then I'm giving myself a time frame to undo what I've done. And what I want to do is connect myself to my ideal self as quickly as possible and keep myself anchored there. So that's why I just cut it off. I cut it off completely. So when you do this and you keep this going throughout the day, and you do this day after day after day after day after day, you will become the person that it is that you are building to end up receiving the things that it is that you are wanting. This is how it is. This is I'm gonna tell y'all where this information has come from for me. And then I gotta go ahead and get this workout in. I cannot shake the idea that eons and eons ago that there were groups and races of people that did extraordinary things. Did you know electricity existed in ancient Egyptian times? The pyramids were impossible to build. Stonehenge, impossible to build. Full on utopias. Nikola Tesla creating technology that we still use today, saying that he brought it. Nikola Tesla is probably my greatest teacher when it comes to manifestation and understanding how the world, the spiritual world works. Nikola Tesla said he did not create anything that he did not perfect first in his mind. He would go into his mind and imagine the technology that he wanted to make before he makes it. All right? So everything I'm learning and everything that I'm telling you comes from an aggregation of understanding that fact and understanding that some part of our human history is not being accurately depicted. We were and are way more powerful than we're being led to believe. Something happened. So I draw from ancient wisdom, I draw from modern science, and most of all, I draw from application of this knowledge. And I've created a mode of meditation through manifestation through meditation that so far has not failed me. It hasn't. It hasn't failed me. I was just thinking about this exact thing. It's crazy. It's like, no, something changed. Something changed. This isn't all that it's supposed to be. This isn't all that it was. So knowing this, I felt a responsibility to learn about ancient human history, Kemetic teachings, ancient Egyptian teachings, ancient old African ancient teachings. So yeah, that's the live, and these are the cheat codes to manifestation. Um, I would advise you guys to try it out. I've even thought about recording not hypnosis, a meditation that will help assist you in this. But I think that I'll wait. Mm, I want to wait until certain things that require a higher level of frequency, energy, and gratefulness. So some of the things that I'm creating, the reason why I have not seen them is um, I'm not ready to fully meditate on those yet because I know that energetically I can't get there yet. So as far as changing who I am, yes, I can do that. Manifesting a little bit of money, yes, I can do that, and I have done that. Manifesting a new house, like my dream house for my family, that's a tough one for me for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's because the market is creating a self-limiting belief. And so what is more important now is that I deal with those self-limiting beliefs first. So I focus more so on my mentality and who I am and what I think about myself first. And then I move on to the bigger things. Um, so yeah, those are the cheat codes. I'm not a wizard. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a hip, hypnosis professional. I'm a guy that's been asking questions since he was 5 years old. I've looked for those answers my entire life, and I'm finally getting them. You're right. You have to cut it off right away. We just have to make time for ourselves. We have to tap into ourselves. They teach us to tap into something outside ourselves. Man, facts. That is facts. You have to cut it right off right away. I think my favorite thing you just said right there is we have to make time for ourselves. That is a fact. You want to see change in the world, you want to see healing, it starts with you. And if everybody had this mentality instead of constantly looking for a government or the next person to blame so that they can help or change the circumstances, we'd be in a better place. Because that's right. Mindset is everything. The truth is, everything that we need is truly within us. And I believe that a part of life's purpose is to recognize that and create heaven here on earth. But the reason why we have hell here is because we've been tricked. These same principles have been used against us, and we've been tricked into believing that we are less than. And if we can control the 0 point field, which is basically the marriage of imagination and feeling, then you can control the human. If you can control enough humans, you can control reality. If you can control reality, you can control the world. What do I mean by imagination with the marrying of emotion? Think about a scary movie. They are placing an image into your mind, which is it's essentially hijacking your imagination and causing you to feel a state of fear. You do that enough times with enough of the same sensory inputs, and before you know it, you're afraid to see a scream mask. Before you know it, you get chills when you hear a construction worker using the chainsaw. Like, or or you see enough mugshots of young black men with dreads, or enough black men on the news, and you begin to fear black men. Hmm. Think about that. You see enough skewed numbers as it relates to a certain bug, and you begin to fear your neighbor. You begin to fear everything. Hey, I hope this reached y'all well, man. Um, I struggle because sometimes I'm like, should I leave these lives up or should I continue to reward coming? And then uh, I'll delete it. So, oh, you're welcome. There'll be more. There's always lives like this. Live one day where people meditated on the one goal. That'd be powerful. Yeah, that's facts. Sorry, I had a phone call come in. That's probably why it happened. Y'all are very welcome, and I hope it blessed y'all. I hope it helped y'all. Um, these lives was kind of the, I do these lives. I'm glad. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I do these lives in this way because, you know, when you edit a video, part of the reason why I don't talk a lot about this real life stuff so much on actual videos is because I need you guys to know that I know what I'm talking about. I need you guys to know that it's real and it's a part of me. So that's why I do the lives. This isn't just it's not just a read an article and then get on camera talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a very real part of my life that I want to share, and I want you guys to know that I'm doing the work. I ain't just talking it. So I appreciate you all for being here. Uh, yes, if y'all have any questions, please send it to my email. I'll put my email on the screen if I can. Let me try. I can't do it, but it's all good. You can find my email on my page, my about page, and it is sotrueq.tv@gmail.com. Again, that's sotrueq.tv@gmail.com. And if you want uh, my advice on how to get better at meditating, what might be going wrong in meditation, y'all let me know. I'm happy to give this information out. All right, until next time, I'm going to get this workout in. This will be up for at least the length of my workout, and then it might be gone. But until next time, tell me how to manifest my Canadian study visa. Uh, I'm gonna tell you to go ahead and rewatch this live because you must have missed the beginning. Um, and there are stories of people manifesting exactly that. And it was during the height of the pandemic where they weren't allowing travel. So take that and understand that this stuff is real, and they were using manifestation principles. Okay, all right. Until next time, I appreciate y'all for being here. I'll come up with a better tagline, but until then, peace.